exploding. He's like running.
He's running is so funny.
Yeah, guys, am I rich? Like a 2000
Jail.
high school.
Straight to jail, John.
So, guys, this means that Thanos is coming back in Daredevil.
It was fantastic.
Fantastic. The podcast where we talk about what we truly want.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we're here.
Let's go, boys. We're here.
Yes.
Wade, that was a cool new intro. That was
Thank
sweet.
you, thank you. Well,
Very
got to give props to Log Web. He gave me some more graphics, so
Thank you, Log. Guys, we're back and we're talking about what we truly want tonight on the Webinar Seminar podcast. We're just two brothers, me and Wade, doing this thing with our bros, Johnny J and Jacob. But let's get into our boys here. We've, of course, got Dave, the Lord Farquaad of formats, our producer. Wade, how's it going?
some of you may die, but that is a risk I'm willing to take. So.
We have a beautiful mind, a beautiful cinematic mind. Jacob, how you doing, Jake? Hope you don't go crazy tonight and start thinking things that aren't actually happening.
My brain is wrinkled and prepared.
Dang. We got Johnny Job, the Don of Bag End. The Don. He loves Lord of the Rings, so that's why. Yeah, he's a Don, and he's Italian. So, guys, and I'm your host, Mac. Let's get into this. We got a lot to talk about today. Dave, do you have an opening topic for us this afternoon?
We do, and I'm actually going to.
Let's jump right into it, bro.
This afternoon.
Oh, dang.
This good night.
Okay, short mode's not, or orientation. I can't switch it during the live, so I was
that's
planning
okay.
to do that. But all right, anyway, let me jump into this quick, interesting first topic here, guys. They brought back the dire wolf.
I saw that.
They re-engineered the DNA and created it. So, guys, we are now one step closer to having Jurassic Park. I'm so excited.
What? Is that true?
Me and Wade were talking about this. We were like, next is going to be like the woolly mammoth. We were like,
yes, I mean, please, wouldn't that be so cool?
How do they do this?
It's just fake news because I saw dire wolves on Game of Thrones 10 years ago and they looked pretty real. So
I saw George R.R. Martin held one, right?
Yeah. The thing is kind of is fake news because they basically just it's like Jurassic Park. They took like DNA from a gray wolf and kind of just filled in gaps with what they thought the dire wolf had. So it's not necessarily a real dire wolf, but it is, some kind of freak of nature that they made. So
that's terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought that was a cool little thing, and I can't wait for Jurassic Park to come. So
also, like, I want to raise a dire wolf to like be my best friend, and I'll have like a sword on my back.
Yeah, I know, right?
just
What did
don't
Sam
train
say?
them up outside your
Sam
wedding.
says, if I can't ride my pet mammoth to work while I talk like Sid the Sloth, then I don't know what they're doing. So.
Dang, Sam's right. That's insane. Well, Wade, we have a Collins cinematic. Wait, do you guys hear that? Collins cinematic web segment is coming. It's coming in. It's flying in.
Okay, guys, let's check it out.
The Webinar Seminar.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Cinematic Web, a new segment here on the Webinar Seminar where I'm going to be reviewing the movies that you truly want to see. I'm Colin, your official movie theater correspondent here on the Webinar Seminar, and it's my job to let you know whether or not this week's movie is worth spending your hard-earned money on in the theater. But this week, we're going to be looking at David Ayer's A Working Man. This movie follows Jason Statham as a guy who goes into work every day, and he gets a little fed up with his boss and decides to take matters into his own hands. No, I'm just kidding. This movie follows one Levin Cade, who leaves behind a decorated military career in Black Ops to live a simple life working construction. Now, human traffickers do kidnap his boss's daughter, and so he's forced to kind of use his old skills to try to bring her home. Meanwhile, he finds that the human traffickers work for the mafia. So it kind of gets interesting there. This movie was written by Sylvester Stallone, actually, and David Ayer. David Ayer directs it as well. Let's jump into the movie itself. So the action is pretty good. It's pretty brutal. I would say if you've seen a Jason Statham movie before, you've seen them all. But honestly, every time I watch one of his movies, I always leave afterwards finding it very entertaining. I think he has this role of just a man who doesn't want to go back into his old life of killing, but he's ultimately forced to, and he's the only one who can save the day. I think it just, for him, it works. I know some actors like The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans, they all kind of also play the same role in every movie. But for me, Jason Statham just does it better than all of them. I think he just knows exactly what he's going to do. And his performance, his acting, doing that was great. The plot is a little convoluted, in my opinion. It feels like it wants to be taken because he's trying to find the boss's daughter and save her from the human traffickers. But it also feels like John Wick a little bit as well because he decides to just start this all-out war on the mafia. And so that would be one complaint I have with the movie is it doesn't really know what it wants to be. And because of this, the movie just feels a little bit longer than it needs to be. In terms of the rating, I would give it probably 2.5 webs out of 5. I would honestly say wait for streaming. I mean, it's good if you want to watch a solid action movie and be entertained and not really have to think about it. But I don't know if I would pay $15 to go see it in theaters, honestly. If you want to watch a movie that also stars Jason Statham and is directed by David Ayer that came out a year ago, that I would say is better than this movie, would be The Beekeeper. Basically, it's him in the same role, and he just goes after a bunch of call center scammers, and it turns into this big conspiracy. But I felt like the plot of that movie was a lot more streamlined than this. So I would say, yeah, if you want to go watch an action movie that you don't really have to think about, go watch that. I would recommend that more. Thank you for tuning into this week's segment, and I'll turn it back to you boys over on the pod.
Well, thank you, Colin, for giving us that little segment there on the pod. Go see that new movie. That's a movie that we would not want to go see. Colin's the type of guy, he goes and sees most every movie once a week. So
Yeah, that's why he's our correspondent.
He's our correspondent movie theater guy. So thank you, Colin, and go check him out. We'll have that video on our channel as well. But guys, let's get into Daredevil Born Again episode 8 discussion here. There's a lot to the plot. We're gonna get into the plot. Do you guys want me to break it down real quick? Just really quick, spoiler warning. You've been warned.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Matt's struggling, with his relationship. There's different things. Kingpin kind of finds out where Matt lives, also that they're dating, also that she might be staying at Matt's place. Kind of creepy. Also, Bullseye in prison wants Matt to come talk to him, and Matt gets really angry, smashes his head in. I was like, whoa, crazy.
Then blames it on him. Yeah.
Then blames it on him. And then you get kind of this ball scene with Kingpin dancing with Vanessa, Matt dancing with his girlfriend, and Bullseye escapes because he's using a tooth that broke while Matt smashed his face in. So it's kind of funny. It's like, hey, why does every good guy go visit the bad guy in prison and then they always escape right after? I mean, that's like every movie. Like if you think of like Venom 2, it's like every movie. But uses his tooth to kill the people, and then he gets out. He's pretty enhanced, obviously. And then he gets out. He's got a sniper. He's dressed as a cop. He gets into the ball. He's about to shoot Kingpin, but he shoots Matt right as Matt figures out that Vanessa is the one who plotted to kill Foggy. And he's pissed. But Matt took the bullet for Kingpin. He's on the ground. He's bleeding. And that's where we're left off. So, guys.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
That was insane. So.
Bullseye said to Matt in the prison, he said, that's what a good person does, right? He defends his enemies.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying that to try and get, Matt to defend him, to get him out of General Pop because, as a former FBI agent, half the guys in there want to shank him. But Matt really took that to heart. Now there's probably there's probably a little bit, because if he was trying to kill, Bullseye was trying to kill Kingpin. Kingpin was dancing with Heather, so there's a good chance Matt was like, "I'm going to get in front of this either way," just
that's
just
what
to
I
be
thought
safe.
was going to happen. I thought Dex thought that was Vanessa, and he was going to try to kill Vanessa for some reason, and then end up killing his psychiatrist girlfriend. That was what I was really nervous about. So
I thought that was going to happen as well. Yes, very interesting. They're just throwing us for a loop here. How'd you guys feel about Bullseye in this episode? Just like the conversation between Matt here in the prison, and Matt gets super mad, obviously, bashes his head in. Matt's kind of unhinged right now. Have we ever seen
ridiculous.
Matt like this mad?
He's letting his demon
Have
out.
you ever seen him this mad? I mean, he's pretty mad in season 3, right? When he's like
season
about to
3
kill
he's pretty
Kingpin
Yeah.
in his mansion, I guess, right?
That's crazy.
But
Yeah, but he's a little like scorched earth
Yeah.
right now. Like he doesn't mind being violent as himself, which is just hilarious. Now he has a good cover. He's the son of a boxer. He grew up in a gym. People aren't surprised when he's a
but
little
also
violent,
he's blind.
Yeah, but dude, take it easy,
Oh man, we got the swordsman here again. It's kind of a cool actor as well to see back in the MCU. But it's funny they're using. I like that they're using like named characters even for little tiny side points where it's just like, hey, Kingpin is blackmailing people. You know what I mean? But it's like, hey,
yeah.
Wait,
Well, they were
no,
both
the
on
swordsman.
Hawkeye together too, so they had.
They're
a
both in
history,
Hawkeye, yeah. So I kind of like that continuity, But this dance scene. Am I missing anything in between? You see Punisher escape, obviously, with his tooth. Pretty wild.
Not Punisher. You meant.
I mean Bullseye. Yeah, Bullseye. Sorry.
Yeah. Here, real quick.
Yeah, Wade.
Sam says Bullseye killing the prison guard with his tooth is from the comics.
Oh, dang. It also
so cool.
reminded me of the version from Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I think he kills like a lady with a peanut, right? In an airplane.
Yeah, he's talking too much. He's like freaking out, and so
he flicks a
does something
peanut
with
down her
peanut.
throat, and she chokes to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
she dies.
So that reminded me of that. But also this dance scene was wild where Matt can hear Kingpin talking, and Kingpin knows he can hear him, and Kingpin's just talking to him while they're in two different locations. I thought that was very funny. It's very self-aware. Like Kingpin just kind of knows his skill set a little bit. So how'd you guys feel about this dance scene as well as a whole? Just like
That was cool. There was a really earlier in the scene too. There was a really cool one shot that lasted for about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. It was nothing flashy. It was just going conversation to conversation to conversation.
Yes.
It started with what's the guy's name? The guy who's simping for Fisk.
I don't remember his name.
And he's talking.
Daniel or
He's talking
something?
to the vice mayor, and then it follows him as he starts talking to BB Urich, and then it goes away and it starts on Heather talking to Matt, and then it gets to Vanessa, and it was cool because the camera just came out and then came back in. It was really it was a really cool.
yeah,
thing
and
for me
Vanessa
to
was
feel.
like, "I have something to tell you," and Kingpin's like, "Not here. Do not tell me here," because he can
Kingpin
hear everything.
Yeah. Dude, that
Exactly.
was very stressful.
And-
yeah.
and Kingpin whispering to Matt, like you were saying, just being like, "So, hello."
Yeah.
It's just he knows he's listening. so.
Crazy. Oh man.
There was one cool line while Matt was frustrated after talking to Bullseye, because of the justice system and stuff. He's like, he says this to his partner. He's like, "We're not defending justice. We're babysitting chaos." And I was like, "Ooh, that was really interesting," because that's how it feels like
that cook.
for him. So
Yeah, because he's fed up with the system, I guess. He's tried every avenue of using the law.
yeah,
But
that's
it's
what
not
they're
working.
trying to
He's
imply.
like, and
yeah.
this random guy is in jail for 6 months for eating caramel corn. But Kingpin's out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like out
right.
and about doing his thing. I don't know. And then that crazy end reveal. Bullseye shooting Matt, but Matt taking the bullet for Kingpin there a little bit. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of leading up to them, like they kind of have to like settle their beef a little bit. Like Kingpin is like, "Man, I kind of owe you my life." I don't know. I don't know what that leads to. What is this going to lead to?
Yeah, I feel like for the first time in a while, I'm pretty in the dark. I really don't know where they're gonna go. It's pretty cool.
John, you've been quiet. I know you didn't like the last few episodes. So give us your thoughts, John. What did you think?
There he is.
No, John, give us your real take.
It was all right. No, I don't. I'm waiting till the very end. I'm like until the season's over with to give my full opinion. I mean, there are things that I think are pretty good, and things I'm like, okay. I mean, that's all right, but it's not like season 1 or season 2.
Well,
of
yeah, for sure.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I
but-
don't think it's at that level, John.
I mean, yeah.
I think we just kind of have to take the show
Yeah.
like that. Hey, it's a win for Marvel. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's what I do. I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
the same. You can't compare it, but it's just it's hard when you
Yeah.
have something so good and you're like something new comes out and it's like has the same name attached to it and you're like, it's hard
Yeah.
not to compare it.
I think it could have been
But
way worse, though.
it is what
I'm
it is.
so glad Kevin Feige was
could have
like,
been worse. It could
no
have been-
way. We're
I'm
not
glad- yeah.
releasing this.
Yeah, it could have been a lot
Yeah.
worse.
So, I think it is a
But-
little surface level. Like it's you know, it's not as intricate. I'm watching the first season of Daredevil right now, and I'm like, dang, like every episode they're interweaving like the different crime waves. You know, like the Irish, the Russians. It's like, what the heck? Like
Yeah.
whoever wrote the original Daredevil is very smart.
I forgot about
you
the
know?
Russians.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this before. They obviously have a lot less time to fully
True.
develop a lot
Yes.
of stuff.
Yes.
I don't know if that was just budget or whatever.
9
but
episodes.
Yeah.
And
And
also-
they're each an hour each in the last show. So
Somehow they interwove the plot, you know, with the old show. They definitely kept a lot of the bones of the show, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Foggy's not in the show, Karen's barely in it too, you know. You can kind of tell where they added and where they changed, you know, and what they kept too.
right.
But I've enjoyed it for what it is, you know. I think it's next to Loki and WandaVision, honestly, like in quality. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
How do you guys feel so far with going into the finale? Do you have hope, John, at all? Maybe it can win you over, John.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like
Yeah.
it's horrible, but I don't know. I think I enjoyed Moon Knight more.
Moon Knight is pretty
honestly.
fun.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
I think I enjoyed that more.
Can't hate Moon Knight.
Yeah. Although
Moon
the
Knight's
ending
ending,
wasn't.
nobody likes.
it was
Everybody
okay.
like the last episode of Moon Knight was like big CGI fest, and everybody like forgot the rest of the
But,
show
like,
was so
everything-
good. You know what I mean? It's so annoying.
Yeah, the rest. I really enjoyed the rest. Like the last episode wasn't the greatest to me, but like all the other episodes I really enjoyed. I thought it was
Jake,
really,
going
I
into
liked that
this
show.
the finale next week, how you feeling? What do you think's gonna happen?
I'm what do I think's gonna happen? I don't know. They everything I thought would happen happened, not in the last episode, but the last episode.
I do want to
so,
see Matt suit up. You know what I mean? He's only suited up like twice, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of him not in the suit. I'm sure we're gonna.
I need
we're gonna see that
some
next
really
episode.
good fight scenes. You know what I mean? And hopefully with season 2, I don't know if you guys saw the leaked images for season 2. I won't even talk about it, but
Yeah.
no.
no, I won't even talk
No,
about it
no,
because
no,
it's so
You
cool.
always with the leaked.
I won't even talk about it. It's so cool.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah. So, Wade, any final thoughts on Daredevil? Am I missing anything?
No, I think we covered it. Let's
Yeah,
head on to
it
the
was-
next.
Yeah. So, guys, moving into this next segment, Disney. One thing we missed at CinemaCon was Disney's slate because we were recording the podcast as this came out, so there was no way for us to cover it. So we're going to cover it right now. So, Wade, do you have that image? That's going to help. Can you leave that up the whole time, Wade? Because I
Yeah.
don't have it.
Yep.
So first things first, we got Thunderbolts, which is like in what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks around there.
Oh,
Yep.
You guys want to
That's
go
soon.
see that
Wow.
for my birthday?
Yeah,
I will
we'll
see
I'll
it.
go see
for
that
sure.
Let's go
With
together
you.
for my little birthday. That'd be so
Let's
cute.
do it. What day do you want to do it?
Whenever. You want to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Thursday might be kind of fun.
Dang,
Opening.
that'd be crazy.
What day's your birthday?
Dude, we'll
Saturday.
live stream from the theater.
Thursday.
Live stream.
Yeah, we'll be like,
We should do it. We should.
I think we should go see the Minecraft movie together. I think we should.
you want to go see the
that.
chicken jockey?
Yeah,
Throw
chicken
the popcorn
jockey.
across
Me-
the theater.
Me and Wade were gonna go
Yeah.
see, but Wade chickened out. Wade was scared.
Dude, I don't know anything about Minecraft.
Yeah, I don't either, but
I wouldn't get
but-
any jokes.
Colin's review got me hyped for it. So I don't know. But yeah, Thunderbolts. I think this looks really good, and we're getting some reviews out right now because people have watched, reviewers have watched it, and they're saying it's at the top level of Marvel movies. Like it's in like the top, 15 instead of the bottom, 10. Like like we've been getting recently.
That's
You know what I
good.
mean? So that is,
Guys, I'm starting.
yeah, Jake.
I was just gonna say I'm starting to get really excited for this movie. I'm doing a Thunderbolts rewatch with Sarah, and so we've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, Black Widow, and Hawkeye again so
Dang.
far.
That's
Nice.
so cool.
And dude, we're having a great time. So we're gonna watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Wakanda Forever, and I think that's everything that the characters.
Everything I've seen is so encouraging. Like that they did the real stunts, they did real locations. You know what I mean? Like just stuff like that. With what we got with Captain America is very refreshing. After just the CGI and bad green screen and just very rushed story. It feels like. So I think Thunderbolts hopefully is a win. I hope it is a win for Marvel.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. How you guys feeling about this one coming soon?
Same thing. Hopefully it's a good win.
Yes.
Seems like it's good.
I mean, if you get Daredevil, you get Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, Disney's hopefully back a little bit, maybe. John, how you feel about Fantastic Four? Are you going to give it a shot?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
I'll
cool.
go see that one.
I'm glad.
I'll definitely.
It
go
is
see
kind
that
of a
one.
refresh, and it's nice that it's outside of the MCU, so it's not bogged down by so much stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm hype. Zootopia 2. Don't care about it,
Don't
but
care.
I like the first one fine. I think I saw it in theaters.
First one's fine. This one,
Yeah.
don't care.
Jake. Oh,
Never
you never
seen
seen
Oh.
it, Jake? What?
That's okay.
Wow.
It's not the
How
best.
dare
I don't
you.
have-
Jake.
Yeah.
Avatar Fire and Ash, baby. Let's go,
Could be
James
excited
Cameron.
for this.
Hey,
John, come on.
Another Avatar.
The
movie.
Fire Pit Tribe. Please.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah,
Earth,
Fire
Wind,
Tribe.
Fire, Air.
Fire.
That is
Yeah,
so-
we have.
The full Avatar. I mean, it
Yep,
makes
we
perfect
have
sense,
water
right?
now.
That is
Yeah.
so funny. He's just getting notes from like the actual Avatar show. Did you guys like the second one? I know we reviewed it. I can't remember what our reviews were individually. John, you were on it. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Same feeling I get watching Titanic. It's like it's cool to look at, but when you take that away from it, it's just like okay,
Yeah.
the story's all right. Like I'm not blown away
Yeah.
by it, but yeah.
Jake, you care?
I'm a big fan.
Oh,
I really
Jake,
loved it.
yes. Let's go.
I was dude. I sat there for all 3 hours and 15 minutes, just like
Immersed. Nice. The Amateur, which just came out this weekend. I think that's with Rami Malek, right?
yeah. Why hasn't Colin seen this yet? What the
Colin's
heck?
probably
maybe
watching
next
it
week.
right now.
Colin's probably watching
Yeah.
it right now. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
next week.
You know,
I think this kind of looks just like a generic Punisher, John Wick type deal where, there's the revenge story. But also you're getting Rachel Brosnahan, which she is the new Lois Lane in this. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit just because I'm excited for Superman. But any thoughts on this, guys? I didn't know it was Disney.
The trailer
neither.
didn't really give me much of a hook. It was just kind of like my wife was killed. I'm an analyst, and I'm going to use my my analyst skills to hunt the people down. And it just seems like
Taken.
a very standard, like I'm the smartest
Yeah.
man in the room. I can't fight you, but I can outsmart
Yeah.
you.
mhm.
I mean, cool.
It's just one of those movies that might be like forgotten forever from now. You know what I mean? I don't know. They got to
Yeah.
somehow catch the audience. Lilo and Stitch live action remake. How do you guys feel about it?
I love the original show, so I mean, I don't know. Live action remakes or
Okay.
whatever. We'll see.
The girl does look very cute. The little girl
I'm
that
kinda-
played.
I'm kind of done with live action
Yeah,
uh,
it's kind of annoying. It's
movies of
like could
cartoons.
write something new,
Yeah.
but
Or make
it's
a
gonna
new
exist.
live action story like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like what happened to those types of Disney
or the amateur.
or the Amateur? I guess that's their new Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go. Go see the Amateur now, Cam.
Pixar's Elio. This is Pixar's new original idea. Little boy who wants to get abducted by aliens, I guess, is what I've caught from the trailer. Anybody?
Okay.
Jake, are you a Pixar guy? That's
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like like aliens are coming to Earth and they're looking for the representative and they find this little kid. They've been pretty tight-lipped on this one, so whatever the Pixar secret sauce is, they haven't really revealed it yet.
What's the twist?
I'm sure it'll be in there, but yeah, there's always that twist. You know what I mean? Like so I don't know what it's really going to be
like
there.
Incredibles, but superheroes, but they're having marriage problems. Freakier Friday. John, you seem like a guy who likes Freaky Friday. I don't know why. I knew it, John. I knew you did. So yeah, this is coming out. Same actors. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Could be
Next.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Next, John. John, what are you gonna say, John?
Yeah, just go.
We're gonna talk about that.
Nothing.
So we'll skip, and then Predator
Yeah.
Badlands, guys. I think this is right. Am I assuming is that correct, guys?
Am I the only one who's hearing Cam come across as?
Yeah, Cam, you were jumping in and out there. Try to talk a little more.
Okay.
Yeah. You sound like you have helium.
Predator Badlands. Can you hear?
Oh.
Is this the next movie?
No, you're cutting in and out.
All right, wait.
All right, guys, Cam will be back in a minute. Just having some sound issues.
All right.
What I've heard about Predator Badlands, it's from the writer and director of Prey, which is a couple years old now, which was a Predator movie that took place in the in the Comanche territory about a group of Native American warriors. And Prey was just awesome. This dude understood everything that's cool about the Predators.
Yeah.
So he's directing this too, and from what I understand, the protagonist is actually one of the Predators, one of the aliens, and it's about him and his journey on their planet. From what I understand,
so this is live action.
Seems like it's live action.
Nice.
Yep, it seems like an idea he's really passionate about. I think it's full live action theatrical release. I think Disney has some restored faith in the Predator franchise because they dumped Prey on Hulu. They thought whatever, cut our losses, throw it on Hulu, and then it got awesome reviews and it was a big hit for them. So they hired the director to do a couple more Predator things. I think we're going to talk about another one. They're both from the same guy that made Prey.
Yeah.
And I think Badlands is having a full theatrical release, so
Cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Dang. Can you
Sam
guys hear
says
me?
Predator is one of his favorite franchises, and he's extremely excited for it. So
Nice.
yeah, Cam, we can hear you again. Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah, I had no clue about this new Predator movie. That is awesome. I loved Prey, honestly, so that is super hype. Ella McKay, I don't know what that is. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Roses delivered me from nowhere. Okay, so
Wait, is this what it feels like when we talk about the Oscar movie?
Yeah, yep.
I've never heard
this
of
is
any
the
of
thing,
these.
though. It's like we're like, we need new stuff, and then here's the new stuff, and we're like, oh, what's that? That's crap.
We're like, whatever, move
Forget about
past it.
that.
I mean, I don't think those are like the Disney. Those are more so probably 20th Century Fox, right?
Searchlight, 20th
yeah.
Century.
Oh, okay.
So Disney, they got stuff coming out the rest of this year. Predator Badlands, that is very exciting to me. But also Tron, which we'll talk about. And I'm hyped for Marvel. So yeah, guys, that's awesome. Let's get into our trailer smash, our trailer breakdown today. We've got a ton of trailers to break down really quick. Tron Ares. This looked awesome. Jared Leto. You get Jeff Bridges back, his voice at least. I'm wondering if he's some sort of AI type thing. I don't know how they're going to bring him back from the dead. Where's Cora? Where's Sam Flynn? I don't know. But guys, how'd you feel about this? Tron, the what's it called? The system? What do they call it again?
The
Can't
grid.
remember. The grid is coming to the real world. I think
grid.
that's kind of what they feared in the first one, but it's somehow happening here. How you guys feeling about this? The trailer.
I really liked it. I really enjoyed the first one. When I saw the first one, I was kind of surprised how good it was. I was like, whoa.
Well, because you watch the
that was
80s
good.
one, and it's like, okay, this was probably great in the 80s, but now it's just hard to watch.
Yeah.
So Tron, the new Tron was so good. So, like,
It's so good.
This is going to be really good.
It's definitely like our generation. We really like it, even though there's some wonky Clue CGI with Jeff Bridges' clone or whatever. But
back when de-aging wasn't as good. It's still
And
not
it-
great now, but it was really bad back then.
it didn't
It
make a
wasn't
lot of
the-
money for some reason. But I think now there's like a resurgence of Tron, people who like Tron based off of that movie, you know, who
Yeah.
were like kids when it came out. I really wanted Cillian Murphy to be Dillinger, to be the villain in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's in
He's
Tron
in-
Legacy. But
That's beneath him now, though.
I really hope this kind of leads into another one where you kind of connect this one with the Sam Flynn and Cora somehow, and Dillinger, Cillian's character, being the villain. I don't know. That would be sweet. But yeah. Jake, have
Tron
you
time.
seen Tron Legacy? Are you against it, Jake?
No.
You haven't
No, I-
seen it?
Just never seen it. I've never seen the
Wow.
original. I've never seen.
Whoa.
Wow, we're finding out all of Jacob's.
Yeah, I never
cinema
saw the
sins
original.
on the podcast recently.
Jake.
Accountant,
Yeah,
Tron.
I'm really really being hung out to dry here.
That's funny.
Wade, you hyped for this?
Oh yeah. Yep. This will be
You
good.
like the visual of it being in the real world and how like terrifying that actually would be
Yeah.
to have like this crazy unknown digital world of like not spaceships even, but like you can't even like define them really. It's just like computerized characters becoming real.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
Jared Leto's gonna do his thing. You got Cameron Monaghan in there. He plays Cal Kestis, obviously. So very interesting. I'm excited for it. Next, Wade. Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Okay.
The Final
The
Reckoning
Final
Trailer.
part
trailer
7.
was really good.
Part 3.
The trailer was sick, right? They're connecting all of the movies,
Dude, yeah,
every
he's-
single
he's-
one.
He's gonna have to
Wow,
like.
I haven't seen
try
this
to-
trailer yet. I'm so,
What?
Jacob.
It sounds awesome. Yeah.
Okay, he's like gonna have to answer for a lot of his stuff. Like there, it's kind of like he committed crimes or whatever. But like,
Well, he's
it's
always
really
going
interesting.
rogue. Like
He's
every
going rogue.
movie.
So they're-
Every
they're
movie,
like-
he's
he's
like,
always
"Screw
going
you,
rogue.
IMF. I'm out of here."
Man, dude, it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting what they do with it. You know,
I thought it was cool that he had the knife from the first movie. There was like the cross, like all these different elements are coming back into play from his previous missions. Somebody's messing with him, or so, I don't know what. It's obviously that AI type of thing from the last movie. It is the
Yeah.
Final Reckoning. It's technically the part 2 of that movie, I
Right.
guess. Still,
Yes.
Yeah.
that is kind of annoying for like people who own like the Blu-ray. It says part 1. And then you buy this movie, it doesn't say part 2. That's going to be... Jake, does that bother you? Oh, Jake, you're cut out. Jake, does that
Yeah,
bother
sorry.
you?
No, I was watching this trailer.
He's in the trailer.
No, it bothers me a lot because I spent money to get this, and here's the thing though, they're probably going to do a whole thing with the whole series, and I'll just rebuy it again for like the 4th time anyways. So whatever. But
Rebuy the full series.
sell
The
it
full
on
series.
eBay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Wicked is the same thing. Wicked in the movie, they make a big stink of it. They're like Wicked Part 1 in the movie, and then they're like, guys, this November, Wicked for Good is coming out. It's like,
Oh, gosh.
what? Oh, are you
so
It
annoying.
should
freaking
just been
kidding me?
Wicked and Wicked for Good.
They
Yeah,
got
well,
you.
and
Oh, brother.
luckily, everything else just says Wicked. But in the movie, like it's hard coded in the movie is the part 1. It seems like they dropped the part 1 in time for the marketing and the posters and everything, but it's stuck in there in the movie. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is awesome. Mission Impossible is so cool, guys.
He's going to do 2 planes this time. He's going to
2
jump from
planes.
one plane to another, apparently.
Oh,
He already
man,
did that,
okay.
but he's jumping from one plane to another in this one, I guess, is the big stunt.
And then he's going to drive a tank outside out of
Like
the
like
plane in
A
midair.
team.
And then
No, that'll be Fast X Part
A-Team.
2.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the whole connection, Wade? Like that
Dude.
that they were like, hey, he gassed a whole room. Like that was him
Yeah.
with the mask. Like he gassed a room full of
Yeah,
operatives.
I loved how they kept showing back to the old movies. Like, here's all of this
Yes.
crazy stuff he's done. Time to answer for it. You know,
That's a
It's like-
great
oh my
way to
goodness.
execute a trailer, honestly.
Yeah.
You know? I
especially
love
when
it.
you have that many movies. You know, you have a full legacy behind you. You might as well kind of give a good overview for the final one. You know,
John, do you think this is actually the final one? John,
Yes,
I
this
don't
is the
know,
final
dude. He's
one.
just gonna keep going
it's
forever.
time to be done.
No,
it's
it's-
time to be done.
It's time
You got to
to be
end
done.
it sometime.
I
Or
think
reboot it in like
yeah.
5 years with a new actor, maybe.
Yeah, with Chris Pratt.
Chris
Yeah.
Pratt. I was thinking like Glenn Powell or something dumb.
Oh yeah,
you know?
work.
That would be
No,
so
I
annoying.
was kidding about Chris Pratt.
All right, guys, are we good? That's so
I
exciting.
think
That's
Jacob's
coming.
about to finish it. Hold on.
Jacob, you're about to finish. I can't believe this comes out this year. I feel like there's been not a lot of marketing for it, and then all of a sudden there's this trailer out, and I'm like, what the frick? This is this year?
They were hitting it pretty hard in March Madness.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Nice.
They know
Yeah,
their
they were.
audience. Dudes. Just men.
dudes, really.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
All right.
Watch
Next
March
one, Wade.
Madness.
We'll let Jacob
Yeah.
catch up. Killer of Killers, Predator, the cartoon show, animated for Hulu, but it does not look like it's for kids. Looks like we're getting 3 different time skips of Vikings, right? Samurais and World War II battles, but there's some sort of Predator element in each of those genres. I think that's pretty cool. It's like
That
an
is
anthology series.
So cool. I think it's actually supposed to be a feature, like a movie, and it just has 3 segments to it.
Oh, that's sick.
And I think it's supposed to be about the same Predator going through these events.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think that's why it's supposed to be like one
He's
feature.
so ripped. He's jacked.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
They're always jacked.
Yeah, dude, awesome title. And you know, after Prey, there was a lot of discussion like, wow, this is what Predator movies should be doing, not whatever the heck they were doing in the Predator, where they were talking about making super predators, and it's all going in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
instead
go in
they
the
were
past.
They were like, go in the past. You know, we saw the hardest warriors of the Native Americans taking on a predator, and it was awesome.
So cool.
And then people were like, what if we saw like samurai and predators, and what if we saw Vikings and
Vikings?
And they're delivering. You know, it's that to me shows that the Dan Trachtenberg, who made Prey and is making this and is making Predator Badlands, he understands the Predator franchise and he understands what people want from it. And it sure sounds like he's delivering. He's delivering this classic stuff here of Predator versus, the pitch for Predator was badasses versus aliens in jungle.
Yeah.
So he's delivering on that through history. And then Badlands sounds like it's going to be an interesting next step, but he's kind of a guy I trust to take it.
Is Badlands the next in like the Prey? Would you say? Or do you think
I don't think
it's
it's gonna like follow any of like the events of Prey, but
I gotcha. But it's the same type of movie.
It's probably gonna be very similar in tone since it's the same same guy.
I think that guy Dan Trachtenberg, he's revitalized Predator because it was kind of dead with the last few movies. It's just like so rough, honestly. Like they did not know what to do with it. They did that Charlie Hunnam movie, right? Isn't that the last like theatrical movie? And it's like just like slapstick comedy they're trying to do.
It wasn't Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah,
it was
who was it?
It was the guy from Logan.
Isn't it Key and Peele? Oh, the guy from Logan.
Michael Key's in it. Yeah, Boyd Holbrook.
Michael Key's in it.
Guy.
Yeah.
John, we saw that in theaters. It was so bad. Remember, John?
Yeah, we used
Movie Pass to go see it. Yeah.
Me and BB saw that with Movie Pass too, and we were kind of like, what?
Yeah.
I'm glad we used Movie Pass, but I'm like, oh.
Wait, do you care about Predator at all?
I do like a lot of the Predator movies. I've only seen a few of them. Like I think I've seen Predator, Predator 2, and then Predators.
Predator versus Aliens, Wade? You haven't seen
Oh,
those?
yeah, Alien versus Predator, of course. Yeah.
Those are so bad. Those are the worst movies I've ever seen.
No, the first one's okay. It's classic. But the
best.
second one is the
I like
worst
the
movie
first
ever
one.
made.
They're so bad.
Yeah,
But,
it's
yeah,
Wait,
this
we
is
need
funny
to watch Prey. I think you'd love it. It's really cool.
Okay.
Oh, Wade, yeah, you need to watch Prey.
Okay, I will.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is funny to me. Like, there's like a new genre of like action, gory cartoon for adults that has been popping up. And
I like the animation they chose. It's not like What If, this is like feels very like detailed actually. You know what I'm saying? Like they went all out in the animation department.
There's a popular show on Netflix called Arcane, and this is the same
it's
style
very
of
like
animation.
Arcane.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. That's so cool. All right, wait, next trailer. This one's for Jacob. The Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, here we go.
Jake, are you ready for this? You're a big Wes Anderson guy.
So Wes Anderson's back to frame everything symmetrical
perfectly
in the middle thirds. Wes Anderson makes a lot of weird movies where people stand around and say things deadpan. and make jokes that most people on Earth wouldn't think are funny. But usually they have they have a really deep emotional core to them that you really put together by the end, and it's a little formulaic almost. But when you have such awesome actors being weird and kind of digging into the heart of these characters under the weirdness, I love the process. There's not a movie of his I don't like, so I'm just pretty excited for this.
This kind of feels
I don't know what
like,
it's about.
yeah.
It's so hard to figure out.
It feels like Sound of Music, but also Indiana Jones, but also he doesn't look like Indiana Jones. So
Yeah,
it's like weird. He's got the children that are like perfect with the whistle or whatever. I was like, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah,
He's like, these are my children.
it's really hard to make trailers for his movies because everything is so perfectly choreographed and edited that when you try to edit things together, I've actually noticed this before. A lot of jokes in Wes Anderson movies, if you're partial to that style of humor, they land perfectly in the movie in the with the flow of the editing. But in the trailers, it's kind of like that wasn't really funny.
Yeah.
Like I think Asteroid City and French Dispatch, his two most recent movies. I remember watching the trailer and being like, it's not funny. But then in the movie, I'm actually laughing because the characters have been so set up to be this weird. But so it's hard to gauge what his movies are going to be like from the trailer. But I'm going to be there.
Like I watched the trailer and I was like, kind of like, oh, this looks like it might be fun or funny, but I know better to not check it out.
Yeah,
I've watched too many with Jacob, and I'm just like, no,
who knows?
Not my style movie.
Maybe this one will break that mold. I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
Is it
Probably
Grand
not.
Budapest Hotel level? That's the question.
We'll find out.
That's his most popular.
That's his
right?
magnum opus for sure.
Yeah,
that's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah. All right, we broke them down. Trailer's done.
Woof.
Wade, let's get into our 2001 top movies. That's our big main topic for today. We've been doing this. We already broke down our 2000. Now we're doing 2001. Wade, take it away.
Yeah, guys, welcome to another segment. Last time we did check out the year 2000, so check out that video. Just a quick reminder before we start, guys. We previously broke down our top 10 movies of all time on a previous Spotify episodes before we went on YouTube. If you're first time checking us out, and those movies we kind of just determined we're not going to use them because they'd obviously be number one for us or something.
Yeah.
But this year, 2001, actually did have a number one pick from that original list, which was John's. Which is Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And I think that would have made top lists of all three of us if we didn't choose it or not. So we ended up foregoing that one, but just know that's the number one in all of our hearts. But guys, let's jump right in. We'll start off with John. John's number 3.
What is this, John?
No way.
You know it.
John.
You
John.
You love it.
Hey, is this
Look at
what
the
is
actors.
this? Oh, Pearl Harbor. What the heck?
Yes, it was Pearl Harbor. It's so bad. It's such a bad movie, but I loved it when I was little. Like the only scenes I loved were like when Japan attacks Pearl Harbor and Doolittle's raid on the because all right. So on VHS it had two VHSs, and so the second one was like the Doolittle raid and then like getting ready for that. And so I'd always watch the first one is when they like just before they attack Pearl Harbor and then the Doolittle raid. But like this whole movie, it's pretty. It's Michael Bay. I don't know. It's Michael Bay. That's it's just a lot of like sweating
Nice.
and people like love triangle. Like it's pretty funny. Like the beginning, but Ben Affleck's in it. It's got pretty big cast in it. Ben Affleck. Josh Hartnett, Kate Beckinsale, Jennifer Garner, Alec Baldwin, Cuba Gooding Jr. He's in it, which, I was like,
he
I
gets on
forgot
the
about
turret.
him.
He's like,
John Voight, yeah, John Voight, he plays FDR. He does a good job as FDR. Dan Aykroyd,
wow.
He's in it.
This is a big
what?
cast from 2000.
Yeah, you're like,
the heck?
huh? Yeah, but yeah. And so it's it starts off with like them like the two of them, Ben Affleck and what's his face, Josh Hartnett. Their characters are like really they're best friends from childhood, and so they become pilots. They love they were always like want to be pilots, and so Ben Affleck at one point decides to go over to Great Britain and fly for the British because back in World War II they had this program like they were inviting like people from the U.S. and Canada like pilots to fly for them and like fight the Nazis, and so like Ben Affleck's character does this. He goes over there, and then he like gets shot down, and his girlfriend or fiance, Kate Beckinsale's character, she thinks he's dead, and so she falls in love with what's his face, Josh Hartnett's character, and they're stationed in Pearl Harbor, and it's just like this whole thing. You're like, oh my gosh, and then you're like, the only good part is when they attack. I'm not. Yeah, Jacob, it is really. It's
John,
quite. It's
I used
quite
to
a
when
boring
this
one.
movie was on TV, and I saw that it was like an hour and 45 minutes into the movie. I used to turn it on for the same reason to watch the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
Um,
Pearl Harbor.
and
That's the
and
only
I
scene I cared
everything
about, yeah.
on the other side because I would do that when I was a kid or like a teenager. I
was
could
like, this is so boring. Like, I don't care
maybe
about this.
maybe we should give it another fair shake because the good stuff is good.
should.
The depiction of the attack is pretty interesting. And
Yeah,
now
they do a
that
good job. It's really Michael Bay does a good. His action scenes are pretty good. Like
are we
all
not
his
gonna lie
films,
that when that bomb
but yeah.
drops on the what was it on the Arizona?
Oh, the
that-
Arizona.
it's funny because
That's-
it's
yeah.
such an awful tragedy, but it's like epic in the movie.
It's awful,
It's
track,
so
but he does
cool.
it so well. Yeah,
Hmm.
and you're like, oh crap, and then just the ship like just comes out of the water when it explodes. Yeah, it's.
I know what I'm
pretty-
watching on YouTube at work
Pretty
tomorrow.
cool.
Dang.
Nice,
I haven't seen this.
dude. Cam,
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it either.
Oh, dude,
I I saw like clips of it as
Yeah.
a kid.
We
Yeah,
have
start
to-
watching it at 1 hour and 45 minutes,
Yes.
and then maybe again at like 2
Yeah.
hours and 30 minutes.
It's-
No, my wife's not
Oh
gonna let
my
me.
gosh.
She's not gonna let me. We got to watch the whole romance
Yeah,
part
you-
too. So
It's
It's
just
like
so-
Titanic. If in Titanic, all the sinking stuff is really good, but all the real story about the classes and everybody on the ship is really good too. It's like Titanic if all that stuff was bad.
oh boy.
It's bad. And then what's his face? I'll let you guys. You guys have to watch it, so I
Wild.
won't spoil anything
That's
because I
fine.
think you guys will
Okay.
You'll have some
enjoy
fun with
watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Even though it's
All right.
yeah, you'll have fun.
All right, next
Who's next?
guys. Cam's number
Oh,
3.
easy peasy.
Yes.
Shrek, you gotta love it. Fairy tales that are every fairy tale is real in this world. Very awesome idea. This movie's hilarious with Laura Farquaad, obviously being the villain. You guys, you know it. You've seen it. It's created just a world of memes as well, and just hilariousness. And Donkey's amazing. You got Shrek played by Mike Myers. What's not to like? It was cool for its time. It's still cool. They're doing Shrek 5, which is insane, and they changed the animation, and people are mad. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, not much to say. You guys like Shrek, of course. Hopefully,
Yeah, of course. The humor in this movie is
Yeah, I love
unreal.
yeah. It's
Unreal.
definitely not a
Classic.
kids movie.
So good.
which is
It
just
is-
so funny.
It's
It is
not.
a PG-13 and borderline R-rated comedy masquerading as a kids movie.
Yes.
Wow. I thought it was funny. John's mentioned this before on some of our Spotify episodes, but apparently, like while they were doing Prince of Egypt, they if you weren't doing a good job on Prince of Egypt, you get Shrek'd, and you had to go work on Shrek.
You
get
got
Which is
Shrek,
crazy
yeah.
because now Shrek
Yeah,
is
you get
much bigger.
sent
than Prince of
down to
Egypt.
the basement to work on Shrek.
Also, I
And
got
so
in
everybody
trouble.
working on it was jaded. They were like, whatever. We're
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
whatever we want.
Also, this is a childhood memory. At John's house, John was like, Cam, we're watching Shrek 2. And I was like, I don't think I'm allowed. And then I got home and I got in trouble for watching Shrek 2 at John's house. My mom was like, you're not allowed to watch that. It was probably my fault.
best one.
I
You had to
probably
watch
didn't
it.
stand up for
Oh,
myself.
man.
But
That's
whatever.
so
It's
funny.
hilarious. It's so good. I
Yeah.
love these movies. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Not much else to say, I
So
guess.
good. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Oh,
This is my number 3.
Yeah.
Cats and Dogs?
This is Cats and Dogs,
No
a
way.
classic spy movie involving man's best friend versus evil cats. The movie's like
Evil
this is
cats.
hilarious movie. It's basically like Jeff Goldblum is like this like scientist guy. he has a son who wants a dog, and so Jeff Goldblum has an allergy to dogs. So he's like a scientist in his basement trying to figure out the cure for dog allergies. And so the evil, it's funny because the dog they get like finds the secret like lair or whatever and becomes an agent. And then the cats want to kidnap the scientist to get the cure so that they can reverse it so that everyone has
dog allergies.
Dog
that's
allergies,
right.
so
yes.
that cats can take the
'Cause
place
they rule the
of
world.
man's best friend.
Dang.
It's hilarious.
This is a slight against Jacob, though. He's a cat guy.
That's
I'm a
true.
guy.
Yeah, but so am I, honestly. But you got to have dog movies because they're classic for kids growing up.
Yeah.
And Tobey Maguire plays the main dog, and it's pretty
Oh
funny.
yes,
Yep.
man.
And
This is-
the main white cat is hilarious.
Yeah, he's pretty. The cat's fun.
Yeah.
Dang, this is bringing back some childhood nostalgia for me. I think the
Yeah.
last time I saw this was at like Mimo and Bobby's house, Wade. Like that's how long ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But it's kind of cheesy. It probably doesn't hold up, if we were to rewatch it. But anyway, it's a fun movie.
Kids would like it.
It's
Yeah.
a fun movie,
Kids.
Jake hasn't seen it.
No,
Have
I
you not
haven't
seen it?
seen it. I just not a fan.
Not a fan.
What?
I saw it as a kid and I didn't like it as a kid.
Wow.
My
Probably
brother,
because
my
you're
brother
that
loved
guy.
it.
How dare
My
you.
brother loved it and was always watching it, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy, but whatever. I always loved it. I have nostalgia for it, so that's why.
Classic. All
Okay,
right.
guys, we're gonna get into our first overlap here.
Uh-oh.
This is
Wait.
Jacob's number 3 and also John's
Yes.
number 2.
Oh, perfectly oriented.
So, Jacob, why don't you go ahead? What is this movie?
Jurassic Park 3. This is the epitome of when you're a kid, you like what's easy and not what's thoughtful. So, Jurassic Park is really, there's a lot of awesome stuff that kids would love in Jurassic Park, and I did too for rightful reasons.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of depth in that movie too. There's a lot of really serious stuff, a lot of themes that you have to take in. And Jurassic Park 2, well, The Lost World Jurassic Park, it was boring then, it's boring now, whatever. It's
Yeah.
a cool movie, but
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah.
slow. But Jurassic Park 3 is like the quintessential Saturday morning. You turn on like HBO like 4 or whatever, and Jurassic Park 3 has just started. The kids parasailing, and you're sitting there for 2 hours.
Dang.
It brings back Dr. Grant from
It's-
the original Jurassic Park, and the stupid
Yeah.
kid gets lost while parasailing, and his stupid rich parents are like, "We're gonna go to the island of dinosaurs and find it." When it's
You
like
find it.
obviously this
And
kid has
Grant's
been
like,
eaten by
"Wait."
now. It turns out he wasn't, but it's a movie, so we got to give him that. But that dude would have been
It's
murked
so
out of the
funny,
sky. Anyways,
Yeah.
so they convince Dr. Grant and a kid who I always thought was the kid from the first
Like
one,
assistant.
but apparently isn't. So that kind of makes no sense
Yeah.
to me, but whatever.
Mhm.
I thought that was like awesome. Like, look at their relationship now and how he's training him, but no, he's just some weird guy. Anyways, they go to the island and it's a bunch of dinosaur hijinks, and then it has the stupidest ending of any movie I've ever seen, where they don't know how to end the movie. So the army or the navy and the marines show up and rescue everybody. And then the movie just like
They just come to
hard
the island.
ends. Literally, like almost no resolution. They run away, they get away.
But then they had the
John.
at the end of it. Remember what are those ones called? The
Oh, the
flying
petrosaurs are
ones,
like
what do they call
flying.
them?
And,
Yeah, they're flying. They're flying away.
what
It's
does
like,
that mean? Yeah.
are we not
Oh,
going to
and-
talk about this?
And,
Yeah,
and
it's like,
that's
this
pretty
is pretty
stupid too,
serious,
because
like-
they're trying to mirror the end of the first movie. In the first movie, Dr. Grant's scaring this little kid at the very beginning, and he's talking about how birds are related to velociraptors, and he kind of threatens the kid. He's like, "You'll never look at birds the same way again." And then he's leaving Jurassic Park. He's exhausted, and he sees the pelicans, and he looks at them different now. He will never see birds the same way again. It's an incredible bookend to the movie, and they just try to redo it in Jurassic Park 3, and he's like, well, now they're just dinosaurs. It makes no sense. There's no theme behind it.
Yeah,
at
I don't
all.
think they were even planning anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is whatever.
Yeah, it was.
But this
it
movie
was-
is so
yeah.
much fun.
I was about to
love
say,
it.
is that
It is
why is it on your
I love
list after that?
I know I'm just sitting here like absolutely dumping on the movie,
the ending, yeah.
but it was so much fun.
It's fun. It's just like them trying to survive on the island, and the main dinosaur, the one like it's not the
Spinosaurus.
T-Rex, I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
Spinosaurus. This one was pretty creepy.
And the
So I remember watching
Spinosaurus digesting the satellite phone with the ringtone is actually a good plot device.
That's a great scene.
Of when you hear the
Yeah.
ringtone, you know there's a Spinosaurus near. That's actually pretty clever, and I just say almost iconic now.
Oh, there's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene when like Grant gets separated, and the kid like saves him or whatever. He throws gas grenades that saves. He's a teenager. He's not like 12, but he like saves him, and they're like trying to walk. They're walking through the forest or the jungle, and then they like he finds his parents. They're at this huge fence. It was like electric fence, and they're like talking, and then you hear the ringtone, and they just turn around, and it's just like
He's just standing there like.
So
Oh,
good.
it's
That
such a
is
great
awesome.
scene. I love
And
that scene.
also, there really is some cool
Yeah, he's
filmmaking techniques in it too. When they
Yeah.
get into the aviary and they don't know they're in the aviary, they're walking across the metal bridge, and the Petrosaur emerges
yeah.
walking across the bridge, and that's really, I mean, even in kind of a silly movie, that kind of makes you go, "Ooh, I don't want to see that." So
Creepy.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to make fun of the things you love when they deserve it. But
Who
hard to-
directed
hard-
this one?
This was Joe Johnston, who by this time had directed, I think, The Rocketeer and October Sky. He'd go on to direct Captain America: The First Avenger.
Dang.
And I don't know what he's done recently. I feel like I saw his name pop up.
Yeah.
Recent Joe Johnston. Anyways,
Dang.
what has he done?
Yeah, I think the pterodactyls are cool.
Yeah, and
yeah, the Raptors are different in this movie. I just find it funny. Like Grant's like, all right, we're just gonna fly over the plane, fly over the island. We're not gonna
and it's funny when he starts giving tours.
and
He's like, if you look out the left side, you'll see a herd of Brachiosaurus, and they're like, hey, there's a good landing strip, and he's like,
he's like, whoa. He's like, no, we're not landing this plane.
Yeah.
Then he gets knocked out.
and
by
of
one
course,
the
gosh.
the
And-
iconic Alan.
Yeah, I was gonna.
We've got some fans who like that. Yeah,
Raptor
Raptor
Billy.
Billy
on the plane gave me the biggest jump scare as a kid.
Alan.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of like Star Wars prequels or Spider-Man 3 syndrome, where people our age are like, "This is awesome," but millennials and who comes before millennials?
Gen X.
Gen X are like, "This was garbage that ruined my favorite thing."
Yeah,
But I don't know. I enjoy garbage.
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I
Welcome
loved
to
it.
my
Nostalgia does
list.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they explain the island as being like this is where they like tested and made them.
this is Site B.
Yeah,
it's
this-
Illusorna.
Yeah, they made him.
and it's the island that's introduced in
Yeah.
Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the second one.
And aren't they bringing it back for Rebirth?
Well, that's
the
what you
same
would
island?
think, but I'm scared they're going to say there was a third island, and that even might be a bridge too far for me. But it doesn't look like Illusorna, the island they're
Yeah.
on in the new one. I know they in the movies where they film Ila Nublar, they always filmed on Oahu and Hawaii, and Illusorna they filmed some on Hawaii and they filmed some in California. And I think they filmed the new movie in like Turks and Barbados. So if they try to say it's either of the islands, I mean, it might pass.
It's not going to look like it. Yeah.
I've got a feeling they're just going to say it's a third island and whatever. I'm game. Makes no sense, but
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
love
nice.
Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Loved it.
Okay, we got a little more overlap here. This is both my
Nice.
and Jacob's number 2.
Nice.
Yes.
Monsters Inc.
Yep.
Now, guys, I mean, what is there to say about that? This is one of the most genius ideas. Because kids are always scared of the monsters in their closet, and how about make a whole world about these monsters having to go in and scare the kids to get the energy to power their universe? I mean, that's just the craziest idea ever.
Yep.
It's simultaneously an action adventure movie, a corporate satire. I mean, there's parts where it's more like Office Space than an action movie, and then there's parts where it's more like espionage and deep state And there's just so many different themes in here that seem so stupid to mash together, but it just works really well, and it's because the movie has a great heart at the middle with with
Saving
the little
Boo.
girl with Boo. It's just you learn a lot about Sully and about these people they're monsters, but you know what I mean. That's who they really
human
are.
characteristics. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you just learn a lot about these people and their desire to do the right thing and get them home. And in the end, their desire to do the right thing just extends beyond Boo and kind of changes their world for the better. So it just has a good message about, good people doing good things can have an impact. But it's not easy. There's a lot of there's a pretty good theme too of, the people at the top are can be up to something that's no good. And that's it's pretty real in our world. So for
Yeah.
such an outlandish weird thing, they do a lot to make it seem like our world. They wake up, they work out, they walk to work, they go out on dates. They live what we would consider normal
Yeah.
lives, and that drives the message home harder, I think.
So cool. Such a good idea. I
Yeah.
love Sully and Mike Wazowski's relationship too.
Awesome. Literally,
So funny.
that's roommates in your 20s. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's so true.
Yeah, great
So funny.
casting too. Billy Crystal and John Goodman. Just like that's so good.
Oh yeah.
Steve
I love
Buscemi as Randall.
Yeah, Steve
That's a
Buscemi.
classic. Yeah, but it's so funny too. Like there's so many funny. It's like an amazing Pixar film.
Yeah.
I think it's one of Randy Newman's best soundtracks
What's the
too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude,
soundtrack- I
the
forgot about
smooth
the soundtrack.
jazz
Yeah,
at the
it's-
beginning.
It is really good. The jazz
Is that thing
is,
back where it came
yeah.
from? Or so
I'm not a big jazz fan, but
we're just practicing our play.
Michael's out.
Yeah, it's
Mike
it's
Wazowski.
legitimately funny. And
Okay. Always
sometimes you see a kids
watching.
movie you saw as a kid and you're like, man, this was garbage. And yet, like 8 or 9 months ago, I was like, I want to watch Monsters Inc. tonight, just on a whim. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let
Yeah.
me get this comment out before we jump into the next one. This is back to Jurassic Park, but Sam
There
Spencer
we
says
go.
they've confirmed in Jurassic Park lore that they had 5 or 6 islands that they were creating the dinosaurs on, but Isla Nublar was the one that John Hamm decided to put the park on.
Dang.
cool.
So-
I'll take it. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Island
So-
Tree.
Cam, before we jump into your number 2 here, we've got to do some honorable mentions because there may
Okay.
be some more overlap.
Okay.
So, guys, welcome to honorable mentions of 2001. You know the drill. If it's on the screen, you guys talk about it real quick.
Yeah. Quick.
First things first, Disney animated original films of 2001. You've got Recess, School's Out, Dumbo 2, Lady and the Tramp 2, Disney Legends,
Mhm.
Atlantis, and Mickey's Magical Christmas, Snowed In at House of Mouse.
Dang.
You got to put
Dang.
my honorable mention on Recess. School's Out. I don't know how that didn't come up in my research. Recess was my favorite cartoon on Disney
Dang, the
Channel.
Blu-ray
I love
too. That's wild.
Reese. Same. I
love
enjoyed
Recess,
that.
and I remember
Dang.
the day my dad came home with a VHS of Recess, School's Out, and me and my brother watched it, and it was like revelatory because it's kind of like a series finale in a way. It's all of Recess takes place in their 4th grade year, and Recess School's Out takes place the summer afterwards, and the kids are kind of going their separate way, and they have to come together for one last adventure, and it's stupid and it's over the top. It's a kids movie, but I think there's a lot of real stuff in there that.
Yeah, I remember watching it on. It was probably on the Disney Channel, but I don't remember it at all. So
I think it shaped my musical taste a little too. I mean, the soundtrack is awesome, like 70s and 80s and 60s
Huh.
songs whole
interesting.
time.
Huh.
Mm.
Yeah. All right.
I've
So
never
John,
seen it.
Atlantis.
Yeah, I loved. It's up there. Like, it wasn't my favorite Disney cartoon movie, but it's up there. Like, I enjoyed Journey to the Center Earth, the books and even some of the old shows, and I just kind of stuff like that. It's been a long
Yeah.
time since I've watched this movie, but I just
It's a good
like the
adventure
characters.
movie.
I just watched it, and the animation
It's a good
is really
adventure,
cool.
yeah.
The animation is cool. The story
Yeah.
is not as great as if
It's
you
not
don't
as,
have
like-
nostalgia,
It's very just one note. of a story. You know, it's not like deep or
Yeah.
anything, but that's fine.
It's not
Yeah.
anything spectacular, but it's
Yeah.
it's enjoyable.
Okay, we'll move on.
But yeah,
Disney Channel or Disney original movies. Guys, Princess Bride, Max
Johnny.
Keebler's Big Move, The Luck of the Irish, and Princess of Thieves.
Oh.
John, again with the
Oh.
chick flick.
all right.
John, it's fine.
What
It's
can I
not a
say?
big
No,
deal.
Like,
you're
you
good.
know,
You're good.
I actually I watched it again with my sister like a couple months ago, and I actually really enjoyed it.
John.
I was like, oh, this is
Oh,
this brings
man.
back memories. Like it's corny, it's cheesy, but I
Yeah.
don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
John, I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
I remember the luck of the Irish and Max
It was
Keeble's
like-
Big Move too.
Yeah, so I
Mine
rewatched
does
Max
the same
Keebler's
channel.
Big Movie recently. It's
Mhm.
you know, typical weird Disney Channel movie where they like slime everyone in it, but it's
Josh
kind of a
Peck.
funny plot. Like this kid is getting bullied, but then like he finds out he's moving, so he like does all these terrible things to the bullies his last day, but then he finds out he's not moving, so he's got to stay at school. But anyway, my actual honorable mention is Luck of the Irish, because I remember watching that on Disney Channel, and I just remember it being a funny, cool Disney Channel original movie. I don't think it was ever in theaters, but if I have huge regrets about it, because I like 2 years ago I was like, I should buy the VHS, and it was like $40 then, because it's kind of a rare release. Now it's $300, so I won't be getting it. So anyway,
That
Now,
is
if you had
insane.
bought it for $40, would you have kept it or would you sell?
I'd probably keep it because I want to watch it. Like I don't think you can even stream it anywhere. I don't know. It might be on Disney Plus, but I haven't checked. So
It could be on YouTube, honestly. Somebody might
Yeah,
have
maybe.
put it on YouTube.
So, anyway,
That's where he gets short, right? He like
yeah,
shrinks.
he becomes like a leprechaun. Yeah.
What the freak?
We already talked about Shrek, obviously, but that was actually the only DreamWorks animated original film that year. So,
Dang. Jacob's honorable mention.
yep. Jacob had
Boy,
an
this
honorable
this
mention
was close to squeaking into the top 3 though.
Yeah.
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 Nickelodeon movies of 2001. The only one I could find was Jimmy Neutron, Boy
Wow.
Genius,
Oh, so good.
which this one is an honorable mention for me. It's like, you know, when you're a kid, it's like, what if all the parents just were gone? You could do whatever you wanted, you know? This is just a funny idea. And I just remember Sheen being like, I'm peeing in the shower.
I remember that too.
Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of goofy, but I like the Jimmy Neutron series. So,
Classic.
okay, kids movies. We'll do the rest of them. You got the WB, Pokemon the Movie 3, Pokemon
Dang.
Mewtwo Returns, Scooby-Doo
Oh my
and the
gosh.
Cyber Chase, and
Oh my gosh.
Osmosis Jones.
Mm. Oh, I loved Osmosis
Bro,
Jones. I forgot about
Osmosis
that.
Jones is whack, though. It's good
It's
science,
weird,
though. It's
but
kind of funny.
I
but
watched a lot.
anyway, Jacob,
Yeah.
Any
Scooby-Doo and the
Pokemon,
Cyber
Jake?
Chase.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. If you watched the 2000 episode, you heard about Alien Invaders. There were 4 Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies made by Mook Animation, which is a Japanese company. And they made 4 of the best Scooby-Doo stories ever, just bam, 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 bam in a row.
So good.
So Alien Invaders was the 3rd one, and this was the last one. And it was just cool. They end up in the internet, and there's this like internet ghost who's it's like a virus who wants to break out and be in the real world. And it's kind of like time travel because they end up going to different time periods through the internet. It's just cool to put the Mystery Inc. gang in different situations.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think I remember you said last week that this is your favorite of the 4. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. I have it on Blu-ray somewhere. Right here.
It's a really good one.
It's a lot of
I
fun.
This was my
Cool.
favorite one.
Okay, we got a couple other kids movies. The Trumpet of the Swan. That's one of my honorable mentions here.
Dang.
I'm a trumpet player. I played trumpet in high school and a little bit in college. This movie's fun. It's about a goose who can't talk, so he talks with his trumpet, which, you know, as an introvert, sometimes I want to do that, you know. But anyway, it's okay. It kind of held up when I rewatched it recently. But
Nice.
then we got 2 other kids movies: Spy Kids and Spirited Away.
Dang.
John, talk about Spy Kids.
Yeah, it's Spy Kids. It's about their parents are both spies, and they fall in love, and they have 2 children, and then their parents get kidnapped, and they have to go save them. It's
Yeah.
it's
Why
a
do you love
typical
it?
kids movie. Like
Why is it an
parents
honorable
save,
mention?
all right. So there's I don't know why, but like so for me it was just like certain like okay. So one of my favorite scenes was they go to a safe house and they have these like there's this microwave and they can put like this like bar in of I don't know what it's called, but it's wrapped. They put it in and it comes like they bake it and it comes out like a Big Mac and fries. It's like this weird technology. So I love that scene. And I just like the just like the it's really corny. Even when I was little, I remember watching this, I was like, this is pretty corny. Like some of this is really cheesy. And being like, but I still love it. I still like just like kind of like the outlandish stuff. And I don't know. The thumb thumbs. I really enjoyed the thumb thumbs.
Hmm.
So they're thumbs. They're robots, but they look like thumbs.
Wow.
It's
I haven't
weird. It's a
seen it.
weird movie, but it's
No.
Cam and I didn't
Oh, you
watch it for
haven't?
some reason. I don't think I've seen it either.
No, yeah.
I loved. Yeah, first one, second one. What about you, Jacob?
Spy
What
Kids.
did you like
Oh,
about
dude,
it?
this movie is so weird. Like you're saying,
It is-
like
it's a
even as a
weird one.
kid, you're like, what I'm looking at is not real. Like it doesn't exist. And when a kid notices
Yeah.
that, you know it's something ridiculous.
You know it's bad.
But I wouldn't even say it's bad though, because that's the intent. And we talk a lot. We in the podcast back in the Book of Boba Fett days, we talked about Robert Rodriguez and his filming style and how weird he is and how awesome that is for something that's supposed to be weird like Spy Kids, and that's not supposed to be weird like Star Wars. But you know, this world is odd, and everything from
Yeah.
the acting choices to the costumes to the story itself are odd along with it. So incredibly fun movie.
Hmm. Yeah. How about
Spirited
Spirited
Away?
Away? That's your honorable mention too.
Yeah, Spirited Away is a movie written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who was the founder of Studio Ghibli. It's one of the favorite of those movies that I've seen by Hayao Miyazaki. It's about this girl and her parents. They move to a new home, and while they're exploring around the house, they get stuck in like the spirit world of like Japanese spirits. There was some sort of spirit well near their house that pulls them into the world, and her parents get trapped by a witch in that world, and the girl has to, I don't remember her name, the girl has to work as an indentured servant and slowly trying to find a way to free her and her family from this world of spirits. And there's other people who are trapped there, and
Creepy.
yeah, and it is
Yeah.
quite unsettling sometimes. It's not very it's not a fun, or well, I think it's fun, but it's not like what I'd call a
kid's movie.
kid movie. No.
Gotcha.
So it's very serious, and but it's also kind of magical and whimsical. A lot of it is kind of a metaphor for like a child seeing change. You know, obviously in the movie she's in this world of spirits, but it's almost kind of a metaphor for how much her world is changing and how little she knows. Even though everything that's happening in the movie is literal, this is all happening to the family, but that's just kind of the theme behind it. It was the movie that kind of brought Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli to the U.S. John Lasseter from Pixar saw the movie and loved it so much that he convinced Disney to bring the movie to the U.S. and distribute it here. And Disney then brought the rest of Miyazaki's movies over and helped get them really, really good English dubs. I mean, some of the casts in Miyazaki's English dubs are phenomenal. I mean, Christian Bale leads Howl's Moving Castle, and Michael Keaton leads Porco Rosso, and all these awesome actors are filling the English dubs of these movies. And a lot of times with anime, John, I know you'll feel this, the English dubs are not good. They're not the way to watch it. But the work that John Lasseter convinced Disney to do for Miyazaki's movies has made them really accessible to someone like me who will do it but struggles with subtitles. When you have voice work from A-list American actors giving it their all, it just elevates these beautiful movies to something that is easier for our audiences to digest. It won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature that year. And this was a pretty hard one to leave off my list, but I only saw it in the past 6 or 7 years. So I let nostalgia let it fall to an honorable mention. But this is an awesome movie.
It sounds like Boy and the Heron, very similar.
There are a lot of similarities when I saw The Boy and the Heron that
Yeah.
reminded me of this. In The Boy and the Heron, which was his most recent movie, a boy in a new home falls into a type of spirit world.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The Boy and the Heron had a little less optimism to it, I thought. It was a little bit more about a frustrated person. Whereas in Spirited Away, she's very like, I want to help. I want to get, my family out of here. In The Boy and the Heron, he's very jaded. The boy is very jaded. And it was almost like the same concept through a different lens. It was very cool.
Is it the same style of like where it's like they don't explain everything, so therefore you just kind of have to take it for as it is? You know what I mean?
The Boy and the
That was
Heron.
The Boy and the Heron.
Yeah, The Boy and the Heron did not do a lot of explaining. I actually wish it had done more because me and Sarah had to talk about it a lot afterwards to kind of really pick it apart. Spirited Away is pretty straightforward. They go into a spirit world and she has to work as an adventure servant. You put it together pretty easy.
I was frustrated after watching that movie because I was like, they didn't explain anything. You're just like supposed to understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and now that is pretty common in Miyazaki's movies. Like in Porco Rosso, the main character has been turned into a pig by a curse, and they're never really going to address it. You just got to run with it. But The Boy and the Heron did throw a lot of things at the wall that just they wanted you to follow with.
Oh, and this is happening now, and now there's this. Now this is happening. Now there's penguins. Now there's this thing. It's like, what in the world is happening?
All right, weebs, we got to move on.
All right.
All right. Universal action movies from the year 2000. Jurassic Park 3, we already talked about. The Mummy Returns, The Fast and the Furious, and Harry Potter is not Universal. It's actually Warner Brothers, but Universal owns the rights for the theme park. So
it'll work.
And Harry Potter, we actually made another honorable top. I think a couple of us would have put it probably at least in the top.
We just said we wouldn't put it at our top.
Yeah.
We'd all be putting Harry Potter.
We all kind of agree. It's a great movie and a great start to a great franchise. But so John, Mummy Returns.
Yeah, Mummy Returns sequel to the Mummy. It's a good sequel. Okay, the CGI. Have you ever seen the CGI for The Rock?
I have. I've never seen the movie, but I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
Oh, dude, it's pretty rough.
It looks like a video game.
It is rough. It looks like a video game. Like, I think they didn't have any more money in the budget, so they were like, all right, this is what we gotta do. This is what we get, and it's because he's like a human / scorpion at the end of the movie when it comes out, but it's bad. But yeah, it's a fun adventure movie, just like The Mummy. Has good action scenes. The story's it's not like amazing. You're just there for the ride. But yeah.
All right, let's jump into the next. Some quick dog movies of 2001. You got Beethoven 4, rough. Cats and Dogs, pretty good. And then there's a C-Spot Run. Have you guys seen this?
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's pretty funny. It's a funny comedy about a police dog. I won't talk too much about it because it's kind of like, dog messes up his life type deal, but
it's that
ends up being
2000s
a great thing to help him. But anyway, Cam and I have nostalgia for it. We watched it a lot, but growing up.
Nice.
All right, Blank and the Blank from 2001. You got Fast and the Furious, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, Josie and the Pussycats, Princess and the Warrior, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh my word, so many and those.
But not only that, guys, we also have Blank of the Blank from 2001.
Oh my gosh.
You got Planet of the Apes, Trumpet of the Swan, Curse of the Jade Scorpion, Affair of the Necklace, Fellowship of the Rings, Ada of the Trees, Kiss of the Dragon, and Bride of the Wind.
What are these movies?
I love the German poster you put in there for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was hoping no one would catch it. But anyway,
Gene and hair.
None of these are particularly great except for Lord of the Rings, obviously.
And Planet of the Apes, come on.
Cam.
That's what's terrible, yeah. That's so bad.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Anyway, that was just a funny thing I saw this time.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Let's jump into the last honorable mentions by us here. Jacob, Mulholland Drive?
Yeah, this is a David Lynch movie. Don't watch it with your parents.
Oh.
You could watch it with John. That'd be fine. John saw a lot of this movie.
I don't know. I came in like halfway. I don't. I had no idea what I was watching. I was
John
just
came
like,
in halfway to an
all right.
already confusing movie. It's pretty much about dreams, and it's kind of a meditation on career dreams and literal dreams. Half of the movie takes place in a dream, and it does not tell you what is in the dream. You kind of have to piece it together. And then by the end of the movie, it's cutting between dreams and real life so quick that you're really confused. But it's a pretty it's a pretty crazy movie. You guys probably wouldn't like it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, probably won't watch it. All right, Cam, A Beautiful Mind and Shallow Hal.
Love these movies. Beautiful Mind. You got Russell Crowe. He's a genius, but he's got schizophrenia. Plot twist. So he's seeing people. I think it's very cool that he has to like figure out how to live life with schizophrenia. He has to like figure out how to not acknowledge the weirdness that's going on around him. That's what people with schizophrenia have to do, I guess, you know. And he actually gets a Nobel Peace Prize. I think it's based on a real person, so very cool. Shallow Hal, have you guys seen this?
No.
This is where Jack Black, he's
Yes, I've seen that.
somehow somebody, I can't remember who, but it's like a famous guy, like puts him in like a trance or whatever, to where he'll see women for how they truly are, by like their, not by their body type, but by their like their by like they're a good person, you know.
It sounds like a dumb Jack Black movie.
So Gwyneth Paltrow is like this really attractive woman, but she's actually like very big, you know. So that's it. But he sees her as Gwyneth Paltrow. You know what I mean?
Does Gwyneth Paltrow also play the big person?
Yes.
Okay.
Like with a big suit.
Yeah.
That's a little less problematic than it could have been then.
Yeah.
But it is very problematic. If you watch this movie, it does not. You could not make this movie today. You could not make this movie today.
So,
but Morgan really likes this movie. She thinks it's funny, so I put it on here because
I just remember the scene in the restaurant where they're sitting and the chair she's sitting in breaks, and he's like, Jack Black's character is like, dude, what the heck, man? Like,
and Jack Black like thinks she's crushed. So beautiful, so he's like the way he talks to her and stuff. She's like never heard anybody talk to her that way. You know what I mean? So it's like
interesting.
Yes. But it's obviously terrible. The movie is
I was
awful.
about to say that sounds like an interesting like concept, but
no, it's really bad.
Execution sounds
it's
like
just on here because
well.
Morgan really likes it, so I put it on there. So I thought it was funny.
All right, John, last one, Behind Enemy Lines.
Me and John just watched this like a few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it with you. Yeah.
You
liked it, didn't
was
you?
good. It's fine. Yeah.
What historical era does it take place in?
The current
1990s.
It's basically the plot of Top Gun Maverick. They copied Behind Enemy Lines, basically, right, John?
Yeah, kind of. It's similar. I mean, it takes place in I don't know if you remember history, but the Yugoslavia, like the Bosnian conflict. That's where it takes place. The Serbs, and like it was like a huge deal back in the 90s, like massive genocide and stuff like that. And so it's about this pilot, Owen Wilson. His plane gets shot down, and it's behind enemy lines, and he's trying to survive. He's on the run, and I think it's based on an actual fighter pilot that did get shot down during that time, and it's like it's not, it's exaggerated, but but this guy was like behind enemy lines for like 3 days. I forget how long he was until he got saved.
I remember Owen Wilson doesn't say wow
rescued.
in this one, which is surprising.
Wow.
He doesn't
say wow.
So,
no,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
you have something else, Cam?
I would just say Gene Hackman does a really good job in this as well. Cool. So
yeah, Top Gun Maverick totally copied it a little bit, but
okay, let's get into our special mentions. We got Mother Sporto's pick.
Is that our mom?
Our mom. Yeah.
Oh wow.
The Others. I don't know if you guys seen this. It's about this lady moves into a house, and it's haunted. There's ghosts in there, but it doesn't turn out the way you think.
Oh, never seen it.
What? She's always like, oh yeah, you remember that movie? It's really good. I'm like, what, Mom? That's a scary movie. But anyway. And then I also got Cam's wife's picks.
Oh yeah.
And she told me she could not pick don't make her pick between Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. So
yeah, that's
guys,
about right. Yeah.
can you guys pick between Harry
Lord of the
Potter
Rings
and
is
Lord of the
better.
Yeah,
Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
I
Rings.
agree.
Lord of the Rings.
And
Yeah,
Harry
I think
Potter will
Lord-
have way more chances to be known than Lord of the Rings.
Here's the deal, though. I think Morgan would pick Harry Potter, though. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
'cause
you
she
probably
is
right.
Well, then go tell her to
very
pick
into
one.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she
yeah.
also said Princess Diaries. So
Yep, she's always talking about that movie. She loves it. So,
all right,
yep.
before we jump to the next, what do you guys think is the top 5 grossing?
Oh,
Should be
Harry
pretty
Potter,
obvious.
Lord of the
actually.
Rings,
Yeah.
Oceans.
Oceans. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Oceans.
I've got a feeling we
might
might.
later.
Might later.
Oh, did we? Oh, we will.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into it.
Lord of the
Number
Rings.
1 was Harry Potter
Okay.
at 317 million.
Dang.
Close second though was Lord of the Rings at 313. Shrek actually did it. Number 3, 267 million. Monsters Inc. 255.
Rush
And then
Hour.
Rush
2.
Hour 2.
Heck yeah.
226. So that's kind of
Shrek's
funny.
body in Monsters Inc. is so funny.
That's pretty crazy, honestly.
Like, you know, the
I didn't think
Pixar
that-
people were watching Shrek make more. They worked so hard on Monsters Inc. and they layered it such emotion, and they're watching Shrek make more money, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Play into pop culture.
You wanna
yeah.
work on Shrek, make it more.
Shrek kind of got him.
Yeah. All right, that's it for honorable mentions, guys. Let's jump into. This is Cam's
Yes.
number 2
Yeah.
and John's number 1,
Yes.
and also Jacob's honorable mention. So
Good.
I don't know, Cam, you want to break it down?
I just watched this and it holds up. It's so good. Heath Ledger is awesome in this.
Yeah.
You've got who else do you got? There's so many
We got
actors.
Alan
Bettany.
Tudyk,
Alan
Paul Bettany.
Tudyk,
Yeah.
Paul
Mark
Bettany.
Addy.
Yes. You know, it's just a classic story of a guy who's like, the system is broken, like I can't get out of poverty, so he's like, I'm just gonna make up my own story, and I'm a knight now, and you guys are my servants. Let's go make some money. You know what I mean? And it's in medieval times. Obviously, he becomes a jouster, and he's really good at it. Actually, and I love how they actually show that he like trains and he's like figuring out how to be really good at it. Yes,
Good training montage.
I never
love a
thought
good training
jousting would
montage.
be so cool, but they put it to like "We Will Rock You." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like so epic, and I'm like, what the heck is this movie? You know?
But they do a good job because like back in the day, those were like big events and people loved, like everybody, like the peasants, the lords, all loved. It was like a kind of like a thing
Yeah,
everybody.
the
could
knights
come
were
to.
kind of like their
and,
athletes
like,
back
enjoy
then.
together.
Like they were their athletes,
Yeah,
but all
they
they
would
did
do
they
these things,
defended
yeah.
the area too, which is insane, which is so weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. But
The
yeah,
anachronisms in this movie are so funny with the music, like you're talking about, like Low Rider and
Yeah.
Queen.
yes,
It's so good.
it's so good.
I love it.
He wins the love of the lady. I
I
actually really like
it.
the love story in this too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
love story is. It's
Well,
pretty good.
and this is one of the
Um,
original Canterbury Tales. It's the Knight's Tale from the Canterbury Tales. But it's told with a
Ah.
little bit of a
Mhm.
it's told with a little bit of a twist because one of the characters, Paul Bettany's character, is actually Geoffrey Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales. So it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like
Oh,
he
really? I didn't realize that.
But doesn't he mention the books he wrote to them? He's
Yeah,
like, "Do you
he's like, "You know my
remember-" 'cause
books?"
in the beginning when they first meet. He's like, "You know my books," and they're
That's
like,
so funny,
"No."
actually. Wow.
They're like,
I
"No."
love
so
how
it's
he
kind of
try-
like the
he-
events of the
uh,
Knight's Tale happened to him before he wrote it. And
Yes, so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's kind of weird that
Awesome
he
movie.
ends.
Yeah.
He's naked at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest part. But
Yeah.
it's
because
like,
we
what the
watched this
frick?
in school after reading the Canterbury.
Oh,
Oh no.
We watched it in English class in 10th grade and looking at it.
oh gosh.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny.
love that movie.
called The
Wade.
Lamb.
I
Heath
forgot
Ledger
that.
was
I
the
put
goat,
that
man.
in too. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Heath Ledger does a good job.
Cool. All right,
Yeah.
let's jump into Cam's number 1 here.
Oh, let's go!
Wow.
Training Day,
Training
dude.
Day.
This movie is so good. Okay, it is kind of rough. It is rated R, but I just can't imagine. It's this guy's first day on undercover work, and his first day is insane. What he goes through because Denzel is so corrupt, basically. As a undercover cop.
Oh, interesting.
And I won't spoil it, but basically Denzel is kind of like planning this day for a long time. He's been planning it to when a new recruit comes in, if that makes sense. And it's my favorite movie. It's my favorite performance of Ethan Hawke by far. Yeah, he does a great job. Denzel is absolutely terrifying in this movie because he's almost like manipulative with his kindness, but also manipulative in a terrifying way as well. Like, oh, you're not going to do this? Why aren't you going to do this? This is the job. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a very villainous role, but he's like kind of playing both. He's kind sometimes. He's very loyal, but also he's terrible, awful, and it's all within one day. So I don't know. Have you guys seen this? Have you guys seen it?
I feel like I've watched
not.
it.
What? Wow. None of you guys have seen it?
I know.
Wow.
I feel like I've watched it a long time ago. But
It's
I can't
pretty
remember.
crazy.
I've seen the clip of when they go up to the two guys in the alley, and I was like, this movie's crazy.
Yeah. Because basically Denzel is so very corrupt. You know what I mean? But it's confusing because Ethan Hawke is slowly figuring that out, but he doesn't know that at first. You know what I mean? Like, it's his first day on the job. It's his first day as an undercover cop.
Did Denzel's famous line at the end of the movie that wasn't scripted at all? That was him.
It's you can tell
I feel like
Denzel is like
I've heard
ad-libbing and it's pretty.
Yeah, but he does a good job. Like I've heard people say.
I'll give you just one scene where he's Denzel gets out drugs and he's like, you need to take this right now. Like every undercover cop takes drugs. Like you have to be used to this, So he makes Ethan Hawke take the drugs, and then he's like, I didn't tell you to do that. What are you talking about? He's like totally manipulates him to get him high on the job, so he can blame him. Which I can't ruin it for you guys. Have to watch that movie. It's so crazy. I love that movie so much. I saw it in college. Yeah. So
what's interesting is Denzel is becoming our number one actor we talk about. Like, remember before it was Oscar Isaac for a lot of the early pods.
You can't beat Denzel though. That's the thing.
We've talked about him every pod. Feels like
he's so good. Yeah,
he's staying relevant.
Yep. All right, let's jump into the last one of the night. This is both Jacob and I's number one, and probably your guys' it would be top for you guys.
This is my honorable mention. Yeah.
I was about to say, I think it's hard for any of us to not love this movie. This is a movie to me. I always talk about movies that
people listening.
Yeah. If it's on TV, whether there's 5 minutes left or whether there's 1 hour and 55 minutes left, I want to sit down and watch it. I love this movie. It's so tightly written, and it's really interestingly written in that none of the characters outside of Danny Ocean and his wife have much of an arc. Maybe Brad Pitt's character Rusty once is afraid of the thing falling apart. Matt Damon's character is trying to prove himself, but most of the characters in this movie do not have much of a. Ruben's out for a little revenge, but they're not really having what we'd consider the hero's journey. It's really just simple bunch of guys setting out to do a thing, and what are the obstacles they're going to face. And that kind of writing can get very shallow very quick if it's not well made. And Steven Soderbergh directs this, and it is so sleek, the movie. There's not a wasted minute. There's not a wasted line of dialogue. You're invested in this group of guys, and I know you guys can attest to this, but when a group of guys get together on something, on a trip, on a project, you're together, you become a little team. And this movie really shows how you can become a team really easily, and the sequels follow up on it too. This movie is just awesome. Awesome soundtrack. The soundtrack features dialogue from the movie in the soundtrack.
Yes.
So instead of just listening to this kind of jazz, you're listening to them talk about the plans of the vault at the Bellagio, and you're listening to it. It's so good.
I love this movie too. I've only seen it once though. I've only seen all of them once.
Really?
Wow.
4 years ago. Wow. But I loved the franchise. I was like, dang.
They're wonderful on rewatches.
Oh my gosh,
so many great details to pick up on.
I love Brad Pitt.
I remember when my sisters first got this and they never saw it and they were like, oh my gosh, this was so good. and they like fell in love with all
Man,
the
and
ocean
the
movies.
heist is
Yeah.
just incredible. So well
Like,
thought out.
so
and
smart,
So
yeah.
detailed. That even like at the end, you're going, wait, what? They screwed up. They failed. But no, then they revealed, no, they did
Yeah.
not fail. In fact, they were like 3 steps ahead.
Mhm.
It was wild.
Yep. So good.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. Like I love this. Just all the lines. I love when he reveals like to the casino owner. He's like, Brad Pitt's character calls him. He's like, "Who's this?" He's like, "The man that's robbing you." and then he just like goes like tells him like what you need to do, and it's just so good.
Yeah. Good
Ah.
stuff.
Classic.
Yeah.
Wait, is that it?
That's it.
Mhm.
Wow, we did it, guys. 2001 is done. We've done 2000 and 2001. Guys, that was super fun. We're going to do 2002 soon. Maybe not next week, but maybe next week if we don't have anything going on. But that would be super cool. But yeah, guys, this has been awesome. I loved hearing your guys' takes and hearing your opinions on all this stuff. Yeah. So are you guys hyped for next 2002?
Dude,
Already looking at the list.
2002 is
Dang.
insane. It's going to be
2002
so
is going to
hard.
be really hard.
Dang. It is going to get increasingly harder because it's getting close into the years where we're like young kids, you know what I mean? Where it's like I'm like 1 year old in 2001, but like 2006, you know, it's about to get crazy, you know?
Gosh.
Man,
All
no, look at the list, everyone, and yeah, get ready because it's gonna make you cry
It's
to have
gonna be
how
a
many things are
bloodbath.
gonna have to be honorable mentions that are not in your
Yeah.
top
It's gonna be
3.
Sweet.
It is going to be a bloodbath in the honorable mentions.
We can't go too long.
That
Yeah,
top three
yeah.
spot
There's
is
gonna
going
be
to
a
be
lot of
coveted.
honorable mentions.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for following along. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Instagram, here on YouTube. Subscribe and like this video. Also, check out our short form videos. If you don't want to watch the full live stream, you can go and check out every single topic that we talk about. Dave, our producer here, edits everything and makes it very nice and shiny for all of our fans and followers. Wade, do we have any comments?
The only one we missed was a Daredevil one earlier, I think.
Okay.
Here we
And then
go.
we'll head out.
Can't wait for Ben Affleck to show up to Matt and tell him he's putting together a crew.
Sam, if you're still watching,
Are we gonna get a multiversal
We love you,
Daredevil,
Sam.
some sort of thing? I don't know. I feel like
love
Ben
you,
Affleck
Sam.
said he's done with superheroes forever because Batman destroyed him. So, so sad.
Ben Affleck's willingness to do it should not be the only thing stopping multiversal Daredevil.
Yeah.
That might not have made sense. I'm just saying they shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
There you go.
definitely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for following along.
Oh.
We love you. We'll be back next week, Thursday, probably, right, Wade?
We should be. Yep.
Unless our schedule messes up. But we will see you guys later. Peace.
See ya.